Good afternoon, Scott School and Herbison Woods students. This is Mr. Lindsay, and for this week's lesson, I wanted to do a little quick presentation about portraits and self-portraits. I thought that would be a good thing to work on from home. So some examples that I have for you, I wanted to go ahead and show. And to do that, it would be easier if I opened up my slide that I have all my samples on. So let me open that up and show you what I mean. Okay, so this is the slide that we have. And on this slide, right about here, will be this video with some steps. There is a link here, if you click, that opens up a full-size view of the Lego person, which you could try to print at home if you have a printer and work on a Lego self-portrait. That's always a fun one to do. Turn the Lego character into yourself. So there's one choice. Another option on here for you would be this collage self-portrait, cut and paste. So we could always do a cut and paste type self-portrait where you're using paper to create your portrait. This is kind of a fun idea where you could do your self-portrait with magazine pieces. So there's cutouts from different magazines to create kind of an abstract Picasso style portrait. That'd be kind of a fun one to try. So there's an example. We could also draw out our portrait. Here's some steps, and I will go over those in the video, but here's a step-by-step of that. And using a mirror helps with the self-portrait, so mirrors are nice because you can see some of the details better on your own face. And a half and half style self-portrait, that's something you could try. If you have a way to print it, you could print print your photo out, cut it in half, and then draw the other half on your own. So that's kind of a fun way to try it. If you don't have a way to print that, you could also do something similar with a magazine photo or a photo of somebody else. So I could take a magazine photo, a photo of someone, cut just half of the face out, stick that down on my paper, and then this side is ready to draw. I could try drawing the other side. So let's go ahead and go on to some steps for our Lego and for our self-portrait here. I'm going to go over those two. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me switch back to the screen I need so you can see what we're doing here. Okay, there we go. Move this out of the way the best I can so it's not in the way. Yeah, it should work right there. Okay, so on here, let's start off with that Lego. So if I start with something like this, like I said, you could print my sample at home or you can try to draw your own. So drawing one. These are the steps. I would start off with the head shape and don't draw the top of it. Draw the sides and the bottom. I want to leave the top open for where I'm going to put the hair. So I'm just going to go like this and leave the top open instead of drawing it across. That way I have some room for where the hair is going to be so I can make it look more like me, however I want the hair to be. The neck, I would draw a couple of lines here, okay? And then the body, a line across like this, a little bit bigger than the head. Curve this and draw it down. Curve this one and draw it down, and then we'll go across. Okay, there is the main shape for the body. The legs I would do next and draw about here, the shape for the beginning of the legs, and then the next part, this is more like the waist actually, and then the legs would be split into sections. So this is kind of like the upper part. This would be like the lower part or the knees, below the knees. That would be like the knee. And then the feet would be kind of like little rectangles here at the bottom. That would be like the legs. And then the arms for our Lego person. Kind of curve it out like this and then back down. And then a little curve where you want the hand to start. Here is the other shoulder and arm. And a little curve where I want the hand to start. And then the Lego hand is usually kind of like this. There's one, and then I'll draw one on this side. There is my Lego's hand. Now I have the main shape there and the main outline. I would go on to the details. I could make the shirt look like my favorite shirt. I like Michigan State, so I could do a Michigan State shirt. I could do anything I want. So whatever I want on my shirt, maybe I start with that. Michigan State. Maybe I'll do my MSUS like this. I know a lot of students draw it this way. Maybe you play a sport and you want the sports on there. Maybe you like art and you make your whole shirt about art. There's all sorts of things you could do for your shirt. Maybe you just put your favorite t-shirt on there. So there's an idea to get started. I could put on the face, I would start looking for what I want. Do I want it to look like me? It's going to be kind of cartoon-like anyways. So for me, maybe I would just do some sort of a Lego, do some sort of a grin. Just keep it simple. Maybe my Lego nose is just like this for now. Okay, the eyes, there's a lot of ways to do the eyes, but I'd keep them simple and maybe just do circles. And when I color them, I can leave like a little highlight on there. That could be my eye. Now, if I want to make mine look more like me, of course, I would have to do something like this. Okay, now the hair, I could make the hair look kind of like mine, which is always simple since my hairline's sort of like this. I can usually do something like that and make the Lego person sort of look like me. Could go up to the top and sort of square that off. Okay, if I want to add ears, I could. So there you go. There's kind of an outline of what it might look like. I could add more details from there, do whatever I want. So there's a little idea for a Lego person, and you can make it look like you. So there's one sample. Another choice would be to draw something a little more detailed. Like I said, try to make the portrait look like you. So I'm going to draw the steps quick. I probably won't get into too much detail because this is mostly pencil, but I'm going to use this thick marker so you can see it better. But ways to start. Start off with a head shape. And I can't erase with this, so you're going to see a lot of extra lines with pencil. There's some erasing you have to do. So for example, you start off with this here, okay, the head, neck, and shoulders. You draw these lines splitting the middle, so you know that this is down the center of the face. This is down the center where the eyes would go. Okay, usually I draw another little line here showing where the nose is, the mouth, and this line is kind of showing you where about the edge of the hair would be, just above the eyes. So those I sketch in ahead of time, but like I said, in pencil, so when I get the details like this, I can erase those things. I don't have to leave all of that. Okay, all these extra lines can go away. But I'll draw it in markers so you can see it. So the first step, just getting the main outline. So I would do an oval head shape like this. Okay, then I would draw the neck, the collar of my shirt, about like that. And then the shoulders can go down. It's getting like the main idea where I want to get started, just like you see on this sample. Now dividing it into parts, right down the middle, I usually draw a light line here. That's about the center of the head. And I'll draw a light line here about where I want the eyes to go later. The ears, when I draw ears, should be kind of like sort of lined up with where that eye line is there. Something like that. Shows me a good spot for the ears, okay? That gives me the main idea. Now on my other sample here, I went ahead and added a couple extra lines where the nose and mouth would be. So right about halfway between here and here is where I would draw the line for the nose. About halfway between the nose and the bottom, that's about where I'd want the mouth, just to get a little line where things are going to go. And the edge of my hair, probably just above the eyes, okay, about where I want the hair. Okay, from there I can start sketching things in, but like I said, in pencil, I don't have to worry about those extra lines. I can erase those as I go. Okay, so I'm just going to leave them because they're in markers, so I can't get rid of them anyways, but we'll keep it like that. Eye shapes. Eyes are usually kind of like a football shape, so I kind of do one curve above that line and one under it. Okay, same on this side. One curve above the line, one under. And if you can, the space between the eyes should be about the size of an eye. Okay, so in between the eyes should be a space about the same size as the eye when I first get going. So right in between, that's about the same as an eye. Okay, nose, I can add details to it, like the bridge of the nose. Okay, details, I can add the sides of the nose. get some of those details in there. The mouth and the lips, I could add some details to this and make it look like there's lips on the mouth, so it's not just a line. Okay, so that's how I get going. That's the main idea. Then I would go through and start adding details, make the eyes look more real. Draw the inside of the eye, the pupils. Okay, eyebrows, I can add my eyebrows in when I want and get a spot for those. Some eyebrows. Okay, so I would keep going from there, and then your hair, everyone's going to look different. For mine, I did the same sort of hairline like mine, so I went up and around, did something like this. Okay, this might come up a little higher, so I can always make some adjustments as I go. Like I said, with pencil, it's a little easier. Okay, details on me. Add a little of my beard around here to make it look a little bit more like me. So gives you kind of the general idea there. I could keep going and add as much detail as I want, but there you go. That's how you do it. These guidelines really do help though. So I put the eyes in the right spot. The nose is in the right spot. The lips or mouth are in the right spot. That's the way to start. Okay, so I have this outline available on my page there for you, so you can always click enlarge it, see what it looks like to see the steps. This one also helps if you use a mirror too, because I can look at it and see what my eyes look like, what my hair looks like, see the details a little bit better. But that gives you the main idea for how to get started. And remember, drawing half of it, it still works nice. If you have a way to print a picture of yourself, you could glue half of the face onto your page, and then you would try drawing that side. So there's a couple drawing options if you want to do the paper option and do some cutting and pasting. Like I said, magazine scraps work well. If you have any construction paper, that would work well. So you could give it a couple different tries and see what you come up with, and I look forward to seeing all of these awesome portraits.